Yes, sir. All right. Let's get in here. All right. How do we do this? Yes, sir. Oh, you know what? Ha ha. That'll fix it. Good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. There we are. Can we see the cowboy riding that bull? Yes, we can. Cindy. All right, let's get on it. I am just trying to situate myself here, my friends. Don't mind me. I'm just making sure that I can, in fact, sit on this heating pad for my back. So here we are once again, the Savage of Wall Street, back at it. Uh, Looks like we're having a nice day, and I'm fairly certain that you guys are having a good day as well. So, my friends, welcome and hello, and welcome. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We got some nice green everywhere. And I am very happy to say that the Savage 20 are ripping. And that's not just one stock or two stocks. Majority of the Savage 20 are ripping, and I am very happy because I see my portfolio in this at all time highs right now. I'm not going to ask why. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not, it's just, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. And I will gladly take all the money that they're trying to hand to me. Um, I don't know if you guys know about QSI. I told you guys about QSI. I said, guys, QSI. It was like around a buck, a buck 10, something like that when I told you guys about QSI. Well, it is up 25% today. Just like that, my friends. One of the Savage 20 is up there. Having a great day. C3.ai is also ripping, and I am very happy that it is. I think I told you guys, when it was $14, even I think it touched 13 for a second, maybe. And I said, this has no business whatsoever being this cheap. Well, today it decided to wake up and we're having a good day. I actually sold some covered calls on C3.ai, and I think I could receive like $180 per contract. Let's see here. C3.ai is up 6% almost, right? And your boy the Savage decided to go to December with some covered calls. And I received $1.75 per each. $1.75. That's 10 calls. That's $1,750 in my pockets for my troubles. What am I doing? Well, it decided to start waking up today. It's at $18.20. I'm selling it for $20 in December. If somebody wants to be kind enough to hand me $175 for a contract, great. We are almost in October at this point. So I am so eager to take. Sorry, guys. I have to sit just right. Yeah. On this one on this little heating pad because my butt has to get some heat because I was doing some stretches and I was selling cover calls. I was watching the news, and it seems like everything is hunky dory. Um, we're gonna take what the market gives us, my friends. I'm very happy to see what's going on. I bought back some cash secured puts this morning. My 1750 AI cash secured puts, I'm not touching. If anything, I don't know if you guys remember. I think a couple of weeks ago, I told you guys that I was so surprised that C3.ai was so low that I ended up actually buying calls. I seldomly do that, but it was just so cheap. and I wanted it to have even more leverage. So what did I do? I bought some $25 cover calls expiring 2027. And I think I bought I think around 2025. um so instead of me waiting for C3.ai to get to $19-20, because it's kind of where I want it to be, I'm not doing that anymore. I told you guys, as soon as the stock runs up 5% or more, I'm gonna write some calls against it. And I did. It's up 6% today, and I decided to write some calls against it. Um, Keeping true to what I've been saying, putting my money where my mouth is. But in case it runs, I've safeguarded myself with those calls that I bought, and I think it was like around $2 that I paid for some 25s in 2027. It could have been like $1.90 or something. Anyways, so I thought, instead of buying 200 shares, I'm gonna buy, or like 150 shares. I was like, I'm gonna buy just 20 calls, right? And I bought like a few more because it kept going down a bit, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna average down. And you know what? They triggered, and I have calls against the shares that I am selling. I sold 10 contracts today, so that's $1,750 to sell my C3.ai for $20 in December. So if it so happens to run, great. I'm gonna roll those 20s to maybe 25s in June 2026 or something, and worry about that later. But I have calls to safeguard against that. So if it so happens to rip, great. Um, if anything, I guess I'm doing rich men cover calls, right? You know how cover calls, you guys buy a stock like in the money and it runs, and you guys sell cover calls against it, right? That's not what I'm doing. I have the shares and I have calls. So if it does happen to run, I guess I'm okay, getting my shares called away, and I still have the contracts. In which case, I'm just gonna sell, and then turn into shares. So that's how we're playing this. I'm completely okay with that strategy, and that's what we're doing. All right. Um, who do we have in the house, and what are we doing? Let's see. Touch Grass in the house saying, "What's up? What is up, my dude?" Bobby Atkinson saying, "Number one, Bobby. Good morning. How are you, brother? Always be writing is in the house." Kent's mom is saying, "Hello, Savage. Sorry I missed a few of your live shows, but I did watch them later. It is all good, my friend. No worries. We were traveling. My son's golf. Good day today. Yes, it's all good. No worries. I know that you have, obviously a life, right? So, totally okay. You know where I'm at. I'm here. Hopefully, 4 or 5 days out of the week at 8:30, 8:45, sometimes earlier, sometimes a little later, right? But here we are. I am very, very pleased to say that I see SoFi running, C3.ai is running, RXRX is positive, QSI is running, Rivian is up, GME is trying to find its footing. I think they're trying to keep it in the 26 area, right? So it seems like 26 is kind of where they wanted to stay, and they're trying their best, because those failures to deliver are going to be something else. Um, let's see here. Open, I think people were like, "Oh, it's going to get crushed back to 7." It could, but you know what? For the moment, it's running. And if you sold some cover calls this morning on Open, I think selling 12s, maybe out to November, you're good. Bring in that premium, bring in that money. Archer Aviation is running. SMCI is running. Uh, Very little bit of a surprise. Sentinel One was running, and it was up like I think 3-4% this morning, and it's kind of settling back down. But you know what, guys? Sentinel One anywhere under 20, it is a gift. So if you could do, I actually bought back some Sentinel One. I think 5 cash secure puts. There were $18 cash secure puts that I sold a little over a month ago. When I think Sentinel one was at 17 or 16 something. Anyways, I got like $2 for those, and I bought them back for like 43 cents this morning. There were $18 strikes expiring in October, and right now I have some stinkers um, for November, and I'm trying to bring in 85, 90 cents for some $18 cash secure puts. So I just took money off the table, you know, a little over 150 per call or per put, and now I'm rolling it in. You know, instead of 40 cents, 45, I'm going to ask for 90 cents. You know, to go to November. And that's how we're playing this. You know, just keep giving me money. And if it so happens that Sentinel 1 is actually under 18 in November, great. Then I'll get a sign and I will make some money, you know, because then I'll have the shares. Terra Wolf is a little green today. Riot's been on a tear lately. Right now it's kind of settling, but it's green for today. Open was at 10:50 this morning. It's now 10:10. No worries. Tomorrow is option expiry day, so I think they're going to try to keep it under 10. There is a massive amount of $10 calls dying tomorrow, and I think that you know who wants to make as much money as possible. There's 93,000 open interest, um, or basically calls, right? Um, Expiring tomorrow. The $10 strike. That's insane. There is 69,000 1050s. There is 41,000 11s. There is 11,000 1150s. There's 38,000 12s. I mean, those are going to die worthless. They're going to make sure that those die worthless. All right. Now, where it may get tricky tomorrow is the nines. There is around 47,000 $9 calls, open interest in the $9 call, um, in the $9 call open interest sheet. So let's see what happens. Let's see the eights. It's 19,000. That's more palatable, but look for open to go below 9 tomorrow. By it's option expiry day, triple witching hour, I believe. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how they push it down, right? But if they do, and they probably will, do not be scared to sell some cash secure puts expiring, say, let's see, go to October 17th. You sell some eights. You try to bring in like $1.50 for them, $1.60. Not terrible. You're basically saying to the world, I'm buying open for $8, but I'm getting 160. So realistically, you're buying at 640, right? Not a terrible position to be in. Again, exercise caution. This is not financial advice. This is just in case you decide to jump into this. It's already a hot potato. So I would go somewhere where there's a lot of open interest, a lot of volume, so you can come in and out quick. The spread should be like 2 cents or a cent, right? Between the bid and ask. That's where you want to be so that you can come in and out quickly. Preferably a one, like, just no spread at all. Preferably you want to be where the bid is like 75 cents and the ask is 76. That's how tight you want it to be. So you can come in and out really quickly and you don't get caught flat-footed, right? That's what we're trying to do. So look for open to get a little wind knocked out of it, today and tomorrow. It's had a good run, and the powers that be, they're gonna make their money too. So be wary of that. Big money's in it, and they kind of want to get their lion's share, right? I see it going to 20, but it just depends on, just whether people are doing this just calls only. Are they, trying to get the shares? Um, and if people, don't have cold feet, right? You have to know what you're holding. You have to know why you bought it, and you got to understand that now that the first interest rates came down, right? Uh, there's going to be two more coming up. That's kind of been baked in a way, but in the next meeting, if we hear that they're looking at, 4, 5, 6 rate cuts next year, that's big. So that may just bump this to 15, 13 to 15 bucks. And then it may just be one of those where they take their foot off of the brakes and it runs to 20. So we'll see. I'm very curious to see what happens with this. But we're keeping an eye on it. I say don't get caught flat-footed. Don't chase it either, right? If it comes down to you, go through a cash secure put, right? Don't some people do buy rights and they're talking about buy rights and stuff, and I think it's silly, and you are the gambler, right? It's already ran. I was talking about Open Door months ago when it was like 60 cents a share, 70 cents a share, and I was pounding the table saying people were like, we do cash secure puts. I was like, buy the damn stock. It's 70 cents, it's 60 cents. Buy the damn stock. Because when it runs, it is a real estate play. And I was saying Trump is president. He wants his tax cuts. He wants his rates cuts. It's going to happen, right? And it's happening. However he gets it, whatever he does to do it, to get them, that's got nothing to do with us, right? We're just here to make money. And we're going to do whatever it is that we have to do to take advantage of the market wherever it wants to go. If it wants to go and be red, great. We're going to go through cash secure puts. If it wants to run and be green, great. We're going to sell some cover calls. You're going to get paid either way. So it's just a matter on, what positions you want to take and where your head is, right? Like, do you want to take a more defensive approach? Do you want to take a more offensive approach? Covered calls and cash secure puts are like the most conservative ways to invest because you're safeguarding against the downside, and you're also bringing in cash flow when it's green, right? So the stock runs 5-10% on a day, you write covered calls, right? Or more, 10, 15, 20%. If a stock comes back down 10%, 15, 20% on the red for whatever reasons, but it cannot be that the CEO's in trouble, no insider trading or dilution, right? If there's a dilution, usually I'm very excited about that because people freak out and they say, oh my God, the shares are diluted. They're going to be less. They're going to be worthless. It's like, really? You know how many times Nvda has been diluted? It's just, they did it with GME. Like GME before splits, GME is like $105 right now before split. Like the stock was at $2-3, and it's at 104, right? Like what do you want? Anyways, so some people just don't understand the aspects on how trading works and how companies are able to bring in profit, especially when the stock is running healthy. And a pullback is very healthy once in a while. It's just it's what the market's supposed to do. A nice correction is always healthy, and I say that left and right. So we're not afraid of the downside. We're not afraid of the upside at all, and we're just looking to make money. So that being said, what else do we got here? Mark C saying supporting Savage with some thumbs up. Yes, sir. Thank you. Tom Kaufman is saying hello, Savage. What up, Tom? CKT saying good morning. I got 10 cover calls filled on AI for December 20s, 183 working on 10 cover calls on BBAI for November 21st at $7 bid at 99. See if that feels. I am guessing you did the you said December 20s. Okay. Yeah. That's the same ones I wrote. I got 175 for. So you beat me, CKT. Good job. And you got $1,830 for your troubles, my friend. High five. That's how you do it. And that's exactly how you do it. I mean, look, nobody's saying that this stock is not going to go to 30, 40 at some point, right? It was just a 14. If you average down, right, and your average is like 18, 19 bucks, right? And it's ran right now. It's healthily running. It's supposed to, right? Everything's green right now. I guess it's contagion. But on the positive side, well, guess what? This is what we do. The stock runs 5% or more in a day. We write covered calls, right? He's writing 20s. He's basically selling his stock for 21.83 on December. Merry Christmas to him. And guess what? If the stock is at like a 21, 20 bucks on December, he's going to buy it back. He's going to buy back those cover calls for like 30 cents, 20 cents. Then he's going to write more cover calls, probably for January or February or March. And he's going to bring in another $2, $3. That's how you make money. But this time he's not going to write 20s. He's going to write 22.50s, 22.50s. Always staying ahead of the stock and bringing in premium. Because why? He is a landlord. You have to be a landlord of your shares. You are the landlord. Your portfolio is the building that you own, and the shares are the tenants. You are charging rent. Charge them rent. Nobody's special. All tenants are the same. There is no, we're an equal opportunity landlord here, right? We're not emotionally invested to any one stock for whatever reasons, and we're just here to make money, right? Now, some stocks are going to run away and go crazy, and okay, this is why you don't write against every single share you have. You always leave a few stragglers back. You know, if you have 2,000 shares, you write 15 contracts. You write 15 contracts, and then you're always bringing in that money. And then those 500 shares are there, right? If the stock happens to run and the calls get taken away, whatever, your shares get taken away and called away, great. Then you're going to go through cash secure puts, always bringing in money, and you have 500 shares that if for whatever reasons it becomes a Palantir, you could then say, you know what, I'm selling for $150 a share. I bought at 10 bucks. You're making it real. And then you take that money, right? And then you put it to good use, however you see fit. You then go through cash secure puts for Nvda, for Google, Amazon. What is your pleasure, my friend? That's what you got to look at it. You could do whatever you want with that money. And if you decide that you're going to sell some covered calls or some cash secure puts, and that premium you're going to use to pay your mortgage, your rent, your phone bill, your student loans, your credit cards, guess what? You're making it real, and that's how you're doing it. And that's what CKT is doing. He's bringing in money, all right, and giving himself a better shot at, mitigating all these, inflation risings in gasoline and groceries and clothing, whatever. Everything's costing more this year than last year. All these tariffs, it's just a sliver. What we're seeing, it's at the tip of the iceberg. Nothing has really hit yet. You just wait. There's a reason that they're trying to have, instead of every month showing us CPI and PPI numbers, they want to do it twice a year now. That's the rumor. That's what they've put out there, and guess what? They're doing it for a reason, because they know it's gonna look bad, and they're gonna try to cook the books as best as they can. They're already trying with telling us that they've created more jobs than there's available. Right? They said, well, we kind of redid the numbers, and we actually had 911,000 less jobs than previously we thought we did have or created. So if you were to rework all those numbers, right, and go retroactive, we're kind of in a recession right now. But rate cuts are happening, right? Stocks are flying. It's all good. We're going to take advantage of it, and you're going to make money. Our stocks are, I see a lot of them are 52-week highs. My portfolio is almost at an all-time high right now, and I love it. I love my portfolios, actually, and I'm totally okay with it. I'm here for that, But guess what I'm doing? I'm taking money off the table. I'm buying back cash secure puts, and I'm going in a little more conservatively now. It's okay. If we keep running, that's great. But if not, I'm safeguarded, and I got a little money stashed up. I'm sitting on a pile of cash too, on ridiculous number. I'm like 60% cash secure puts at this point, if not a little more. And I have a lot of cash on hand, right? I'm just waiting. I mean, as long as the market keeps running, great. But if there is some cheapies that happen and we hit a nice little snafu where the market dips 30%, 20%, guess who's going to go shopping, my friends? I am. I know you guys are. Lisa saying, all right, Savage and Bagel gang. Yesterday I sold a BBAI January 2027 $7 cash secure put, and I got $3.33 for it in premium, almost 50%. Lisa, boom, high five. That's how you do it, my friend. Look at Lisa. She's saying BBAI. I didn't get in when it was 365 and 375 for these cash secure puts. But guess what? 333 is as close to 50% as possible. And if she puts that, if she came through an ETF in Charles Schwab called SVWXX, she's also going to receive 5% on that money. So she brought in almost 50%, and she does another 5% on top of that. She's easily at 50% plus. For what? For putting her money away. That's exactly what she's doing in essence. She refuses to be a slave to friggin' banks and says, my bank is my brokerage. I'm putting away money. I'm not touching it. It's safeguarded, and she's bringing in 50% for it. What bank will give you that? No bank, my friends. No bank. Mr. P saying a house saying hello, CKT. Bid on BBAI just filled 99 times 10. He just made another $1,000. And just like that, my friend, he's made almost $3,000 today. Today, this moment in time, my buddy CKT, all right, just killing him. The K in his name stands for killer. All right, he's killing him, and that's what he's doing. Great, I like it. He is saying major milestone. I control a portion of my dad's retirement in 2 years. Took in from 230 to 500K today. It has taken a lot of time and effort, but I love doing it. That's how you do it, my friend. It is all good, CKT. I commend you for that. I assure you, your dad fucking commends you, and the fact that you're doing it for him and not some fucking slick back bastard in Wall Street, with his greasy, oily hands, fucking, just I'm bringing in 2-3% of this money, with fucking laughter. God damn it. You're doing it, and he's happier for it. And you're paying nothing. You give him nothing. And your dad, I assure you, is going to leave a lot of that to you, my friend, because guess what? You fucking earned it. Because I know that's what I would do for my kids. All right? If they took a fucking, such a spearheaded approach into my retirement like that, I would absolutely leave them as much as I could so they could keep doing it. Kilua Dre's in the house saying, morning all. What's up, Kilua? Roaring Yiddy's in the house. Howdy. You be missing, homie. Where you been at? Homie? I got a bone to pick with you, homie. Where you been at? Your stock is over here running, and you're over there missing in action. I understand. God damn it. City B's in the house saying, thanks for the QSI. I bought 500 at 119. That's what's up. QSI. I told you guys, this mug's going to run. The quantum stocks are next. If you think that it's stopping here, it is not. There's a lot of quantum stocks that were 60 cents, 70, 80 cents last year. Now they're 30, 40, 50 cents. Dollars. Okay? QSI seems to be next on deck. So if you got yourself 1,000 shares when it was like $1.10, guess what? Right now, you're laughing because your shit just went up 50%, my friends. So good. It's so good. Easy money, baby. Roaring Yiddy saying, I'm bummed because my port is so small. I can't be in a lot of plays. I'm sitting on open cash secure puts and missed everything else. But I got good premium in the cash secure puts, though. It's so good. It is so good, man. Look. As long as you're in the game, That's what matters. And you already, I think you bought at like $1 or something, right? Or like $2, and you sold when it ran to 6 or 7. You've already made money, dude. It's okay. You're making money. Don't there's always there's always another stock. And it's not like you missed the boat on this one. If anything, just give it a minute. Tomorrow, wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow, option expiry day. Right? It's gonna get hit, and it's probably gonna go under 9. Will it? I don't know. I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. But if it does, you're gonna go like this. You're gonna go like this, and you're gonna say, I'm going with $8 cash secure puts for October, or $7 cash secure puts for November. And boom, boom, boom. Good job. That's how you do it. And then you're gonna wait to see how the stock reacts, right? And then you're gonna see how you're gonna move it, right? You could either come in and out. You just go to a nice. You just go to a position where it's got a lot of volume, a lot of open interest, so you can come in and out. You're good. So open will keep making money, but you can't be fickle, and you can't get caught off guard, and you have to have your antennas up, right? And you got to watch it, because it's gonna move violently up and down. It's just the way that it's working at this point. When a stock is squeezing, that's what happens. Okay, people come in and knock it, but once you start seeing ladders, it's getting hit in ladders. That's kind of your cue to like maybe take a step back and then just see what happens, because that means they're trying to short it back down to like 1 or 2. So be mindful of that. So dude is saying, let's go bull time. The bull's out there, my friends. That's us riding that bull. Show is. Let's see here. There you go. Just trying to make sure you guys see it better. And I'm trying to make sure that it's yeah, there he is. Lisa's saying ArtCat is down 9% on news of a share offering. Oh, boo-hoo, yeah. That's what happens when the stock is going up, right? And making money. That's what happens. They're like, hey, this should be a nice time for a dilution real quick. It's all good. Nothing. I mean, what has changed? SoFi did public offerings. GME has done it. Unity has done it. I mean, this is what a company does. A company that's healthy, a company that's making money. They have to raise funds, right? They have to raise funds somehow. And that's one of the best ways to do it. Don't be afraid of that. If anything, RateCat is down, right? Let's see here. RCAT. Great. Look at November 21 cash secure puts. Look at the 9s. 113 right now. 113 on average. Put 115 stinkers, because I think I see 50 people there. But if you want to get feel, go to 113, 114. $9 cash secure put out to November 21st. Bring in more than 10% for your troubles, my friend. Worst case scenario, you get it like under $8. What's the problem? What's the problem? The stock was just at $12, right? The stock was just at $12, my friend. So I there shouldn't be an issue. It was like 11 something, 11.50, and the 52-week high is $15.27. You get it at 9. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that at all, And if you don't get filled, guess what? You're gonna get your money back. You're gonna get your money back. Here's your $900 back. Keep the $113 for your troubles. That's more than 10%. That's like 12, 13% for your troubles. Thank you. Can I have another? That's it. It's not personal. Let's see here. So Lisa, don't be afraid to go. We love it. We love it when we see companies that we are invested in, and they're down 15, 20% in a day. And I told you, right? I said 15, 20% in a day, something like that. And then the board is the same. The fundamentals are the same. Nothing has changed. There is no, issues with the CEO. No shenanigans. There is no insider trading. Everything it's the same. Nothing has changed. Don't be afraid. Go in through a cash secure put, and get it cheaper than it is today. Because if it's down 10% right now, and you get it for $9, which is like another 6-7% down, and then you get paid for that, right? you're essentially getting it like a 25% less. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that at all, my friend. So just something to think about. Rory Yiddy saying a lot of medical appointments. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. You sound like me. A lot of medical appointments. It's all good. Dude, I'm just busting your balls. Not that you have any. I'm just fucking figure of speech. Um, it's all good. I'm just messing with you. Kent's mom, she's always here, and she hadn't been here for a few days. Actually, I was thinking maybe she's traveling with all that money she's making. Totally cool. But she was away with some golfing tournaments with her son, right? Kent happens to be a golfer, and so she's doing good. My friends, have you guys checked on NTLA? I told you guys about Intellia Therapeutics. It seems to be ripping today as well. I've mentioned it in the past, but it's not one of the Savage 20. Um, just something for you guys to kind of like just keep an eye on. NTLA. They actually use CRISPR, right? And this is a good company, very well ran, and they have a contract with CRISPR, and they use CRISPR, so they're leaps and bounds ahead of the competition. But anyways, it's up 20% today, and I'm very happy to see that. My portfolio, like I said, is ridiculously green. CLSK, Clean Spark. I've talked about. I guess I was talking about Clean Spark when it was $7, $7 or $8, and I was telling people to write $6 cash secure puts, $8 cash secure puts, $9 cash secure puts. Well, it's up 16.5% today. CLSK is the ticker, and it's a bit mining company, and they it's just they're making good moves. They're attached to Bitcoin, obviously, and Ethereum, and so something to keep an eye on, right? Between CleanSpark and Riot and Mara, I think those are three very strong companies to keep an eye on and on your portfolio. Always going through cash secure puts though. Karen D saying hi, Savage. What's up, Karen D? I've got open $9 cash secure puts for January. I got $291 for them. I've had them for a week or so. I think that's good, Rory. I'm gonna be patient. I'm not good at being patient. I mean, it's all good. You could have gotten out of that. I think a couple of days ago when open hit $12, right? It went to like 11 to $12. Uh, that's when I got out of my $8 and $9 cash secure puts, because I knew that we have Friday coming up. It's the third Friday of the month, and everything kind of settles, and they try to knock stuff down, triple witching. So yeah, so just something to think about next time, right? The Visual Arts is saying, yo, Karen D, my brother wants to learn option trading, so I'm trying to coach him. I'm teaching him the Uncle Bruce way at first. I'm teaching him the Uncle Bruce way at first so he can graduate to the Savage way. That's what's up. I mean, yeah, Uncle Bruce is a great teacher for option riders. I think it's somebody that makes it, very understandable in plain English. This is not rocket science, right? But for some reason, some clowns try to make it seem like it's like the most intricate thing in the world. It's usually like, portfolio managers and people in Wall Street, just because they want to make their job seem a lot more intelligent and a lot more needed than they are. They're not needed at all. During the pandemic, we knew who the real needed, who the workers we need are, right? Doctors, nurses, people that work at restaurants, people that work at grocery stores. Those people are who we need. People that pick up our trash, right? Custodians. Those are the people that really move America, man. Make no mistake. If you're like in insurance, if you are like, who is not like like the type of field that we need? Attorneys. I never heard somebody say, I need an attorney because of COVID. Attorneys, like investors, portfolio managers and stuff like that. We don't need those people. They know that now. We know, who the essential workers are, and it's not them. So that's just something to think about. Roy Yuri saying, I love CRISPR. I'm going to get into them one day. And Tempest, I've been looking at Tempest actually. And it's just there's so many stocks. I don't want to overextend myself. I like to hold no more than, at first it was 10, and then I ended up really like seeing how they function. Um, and then I moved to 20, and I see how they function. So you start familiarizing yourself with how they move up and down. Um, and after a year and a half or so, it's like 25, 30 stocks now, but no more. Just because it's just really hard to keep track. And I have a ridiculous amount of covered calls and cash secure puts out, and it's just like if you guys saw my portfolio, man, it's just like the chain of like um, all these covered calls and cash secure puts. I have nothing. I think the last one that I just wrote was this morning, and it was Archer Aviation. It was $9 cash secure puts that I rolled from Friday, that's tomorrow, to next month, and I brought in like $75, $80 for that roll. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. Those were the last ones. Now I have nothing but like October's. I have a ridiculous, like I don't know. I want to say like 50 cash secure puts and maybe in options. Expire in October, and then I have probably just the same amount for November. I've started some December's. I have a ridiculous amount expiring in January, on January. So that's how we're playing that game, my friends. Can you explain? Can you explain what the inducement grants are for Open CEO? Inducement grants. I mean, it's just if you do well, if the company does well, he does well. Bottom line, it's the same thing with it's just the way they're wording his pay package, right? Just like Anthony Noto, it's like his future is pretty much pegged to the share value, right? So like if the company does well, he's gonna do well. So that's why he's being so involved right now, and he's trying to be all over the place. He's like on Twitter. He's saying we need some people. Send me your resumes. He's just trying to get his name out there, his face out there. He's seen how social media works, and he's trying to get his name out there. He's trying to get into the news cycle, and he's trying to get Open Doors name out there. I think that he may have mentioned that he's working on some international portfolios, maybe, and so that's very exciting to hear because right now they're just based out of California. I mean, I'm sorry, the USA. But imagine if they start doing sales in like Europe and Asia and stuff like that, right? I think that would be cool. That's a great market. Latin America, I think that would be very, very cool. And there's a lot of more money coming into Open Doors. So that's kind of, how he's going to make more money. The stock, was at a specific price point, right? When he took over, and that's kind of, I'm sure that they worked something out with him where, if the stock goes to like, $20 a share before a specific time, he's gonna get a bonus. And if it goes to like $40 before a specific time, he's gonna get, a bonus. And that's kind of how these guys have their pay package structured. Let's see. Ricardo Canales in the house saying, have you figured out the size of logos for the Savage 20? I have not, man. I have, there's so much going on, dude. I know if you guys, I think I talk about it all the time, so you guys know, but I have 3 children, ages 11, 7, and 4. They require a lot of time. 2 of them are in sports, and then so we have to drive them to soccer practice and soccer games. The other little one, we like to take him to places like Spirit Halloween, and we like to take him on walks. He gets sad. He gets I mean, he's in school too, but when the other ones are out, he kind of gets sad. So like he requires time. I feel bad for him because sometimes he spends a lot of time on the iPad, but he really likes some shows that he watches. And so I'm like, it's so hard to like just yank it out of his hand because he just, I guess he's far away from the 7 year old that he feels like, the 7 year old doesn't want to play with him as much, and he's definitely far away from the 11 year old as to where she just feels like, she plays with him sometimes, but like, so it's up to his mom and I to kind of play with him and like take him to little places and do his homework, read to him. Um, I like to cook. That's one of the my hidden talents. Is my mother was a chef. She's retired, and so I prepped meals when we were growing up. I'm the eldest of three, and so when we were growing up, I was the one that prepped um, most meals. And I didn't know I was prepping because I was 10 years old. I'm 9, 10 years old, and my mother's just telling me. She taught me how to peel potatoes and vegetables, and how to cut certain things and not hurt myself, and you know um, how to boil things and for how long, and at what point to take them out. And like I would do all that for her, and then she would just come in, and I would just leave, and then there was a meal, and then one day I was like, "Mom, can you teach me how to cook?" And she was like, "You remember those times that I had you cut these vegetables and do this, that?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, then you were cooking. All you had to do is now put it in a pan on some oil, put some salt in it, some pepper, and then just give it some time, and it's done." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, you were doing 80% of the work, 90% of the work. I just come in to make sure that it didn't get burned." But she's like, "You were there cooking." So anyway, so I like to cook for my family, right? Whenever I'm home, I like to make breakfast or lunch for my kids or dinner, and so it's just I haven't had much time to sit down, is what I'm trying to say, and like go through logos and look at the sizing and where they're gonna go and stuff like that. So I don't know also, kind of what the color is gonna be and all that, because I don't know if they're gonna translate well enough in the background, although it's a white background, right? So it should be cool. But yeah, no, I don't work in progress, my friend. Thank you for asking though. So yeah, guys, I'm very, 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 very happy um, at how our stocks are behaving today. I'm very, very happy to see that the Savage 20 are ripping, and I'm trying to take advantage of it, man. Because look at SoFi is $28 right now. Riot is 17. It's almost $18. TerraWolf is 11.10. Galaxy's 33.22. I'm looking good. I bought some puts on AAOI. I have till 10.17. Those seem like I may have not done that smartest thing because it seems like it just wants to keep going up. So we'll see. I can always average down. Um, the one stock that is probably gonna kick my ass, and this was more like an experiment, and this is something that I totally told people is not something you guys should get into. It's not something I condone. It's not something that I literally called it a stupid play. It's a lottery play, and it's Strive Incorporated, right? It's ASST is the ticker, and I did some $5 cash secure puts that expire in October. The open interest on those is like 37,000, um, and there's nothing close to it anywhere. Not even not in the tens, not in the sixes, not going to November, not going to December. Like it's just this is the one, and it was $9 a couple of days ago. Now it's $4, so I'm in the money. But I did get like three, I think on average like 345 or 365 um, for those $5 cash secure puts. So essentially, I'm on the hook for Strive under five, but my cost basis is like 155, 165, something like that. So until it gets to like $2, I wouldn't bat an eye. But it's at four. It was just nine, and I find it highly entertaining at how I'm seeing this play. Um, so that's the one that's that I'm just that I'm very curious to see how it plays out. The other ones, everything else is, I mean, serve $10 cash secure puts I told you guys about a couple of weeks ago, or like a week ago actually, a couple of weeks ago. Those are like down like 60%. I mean, it's just things are good, man. Let's keep it going. Let's see here, markets and finance. Let's see here, the intelligent investor. Jason Zweig is basically saying that um, that us, the everyday investor, retail investor, are not smart enough to be handling our own portfolios, and we should steer clear of handling our own portfolios because we're going to lose money. They say 95% of investors lose money. Um, and I think that's very, very interesting when you take into account that 90% uh, of options die worthless. I don't know if you guys see the correlation there, but I thought that was very interesting because I'm willing to bet that what they've taken in the numbers they're using are calls and puts, and they basically say that the only people that buy those are retail, which I would probably say it's probably true. Um, and given that 90% or more of those die worthless, I think that's probably why they're using those numbers and saying that retail is stupid, that you should not invest and take care of your own investments, that you should give your money to brokerages and pay them so that they can make you money, and pay them so they can lose you money. No matter what, you're gonna pay them. Not you. You should not. You're not smart enough, my friend. You didn't go to Harvard Business School. You didn't go to Princeton Business School. You didn't go to Yale. You know, you didn't go there, buddy. You didn't go to Columbia Business. So you're not smart enough. Please take your money, put it away on a 401k or some type of retirement fund, and give it to Vanguard, give it to Charles Schwab, give it to Chase, and they'll take care of it because they're good guys. Bank of America, they're good guys. They may ask you for a fee, maybe like 2%, something like that for the year. And if they make you more than 15% in a year, well, you're gonna have to give them a bonus because they're so awesome and they make you a lot of money, right? I take that with a grain of salt, my friends. Dude is saying MSTR finally waking up too. I'm happy with that. My one stock I really like the most. That's what's up, baby. Ricardo saying I get it. I have 4 kids. Take the time for kids. They grow fast. I'm learning that, man, because my 11-year-old, she was my first, obviously, and she was just 3. Like, I'm just how your phone it just sends you randomly, like, says 8 years ago, and then they'll show you the pictures you took, and it's just, gosh, time flies, right? Like, I was just, gosh, I just had her in my lap, and she's like, my world, and she looks at me with these eyes of wonderment and love, and like, now, like, she just goes and shuts herself in her room, and I'm like, I love you. She's like, I love you too. And I'm like, hey, I made you your favorite food. She's like, oh, thank you. And then she'll take it into her room. It's just, and I don't know when it happened. It just happened. Like, I just noticed that. I was like, oh, when did that start happening? And it's late. It just happened lately. It's kind of new. So, I just they grow so fast. My little 4-year-old, he always wants to do something, and he's for everything, daddy, 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 daddy. And sometimes it's frustrating. I'm like, dude, what? And then I just like catch myself. I'm like, oh man, my daughter used to do that, and I used to be like, dude, what? And now she doesn't even confide in me anymore. She just goes to her mom for everything. So, and like, I was her best friend. I don't know, But yes, they do grow fast. Yo, stinkers hitting on the M Face and Bido and MSTU. Let's go, says Mr. Premium on the option. Make that money, my friend. Dude is saying I think that volume on ASSC is from the pipe deal being hedged. It's got squeeze potential. I'm sticking with it. They have a good team. Yeah. So I bought 1,000 shares and around $4 and something. And if it hits three, I'm gonna buy another 1,000 shares. And that's as far as I'm going. Maybe if it's 250. And that's as far as I got it, man. Because the rest is just cash secure puts, right? So like if I get placed, those shares, my average on those is like 155 or something, or 165. So then that's gonna average down even more. And I'm gonna leave it alone and see what happens. But yeah, Mando saying hi, yo. Mando number 5 in the house. Roy and Diddy saying 100% of investors lose money. The important part they're not saying out loud is that your goal is to make more than you lose. Yeah, I mean, at first, I guess I was losing money, but like you figure it out. And then I started really researching the market and reading books, and I bumped into Uncle Bruce's channel by pure happenstance during the GME run, and then he started talking about why don't you sell cover calls against it and stuff like that. And I was of the thought that I would buy low because I would research the shit out of companies, and then I would buy low whenever they were like at all time lows, and they had a good board, you know um, they had a good CEO and great fundamentals. Kind of the same thing I tell you guys to look for in companies, right? And they're extremely undervalued, right? And that's one of the things I took away from Warren Buffett's book was just look for companies that are extremely undervalued, and then I would buy and I would hold, and then they'd run up, right? And then I'd sell and I make money. Um, but when I was like, I worked in finance, fresh out of college. I interned a few years as well. So like I was in a room, right? It was the what was it called? The fixed income department. And so I was under the tutelage of a really good trader. And she would teach me like all these things, but I was always very curious. Um Whenever I would walk down the hall and I would hear like people like yelling into their headsets and um be like, I told you that I want 100,000 of these, or like I want 1,000 of these, and like, what the fuck are you doing? I told you that the bid ask was this, and I was like, it was just like so much chaos, right? And that was the options department. And I remember one of the guys there. I went to lunch with him one time because I wanted to pick his brain, and I was like, dude, like, what are you guys, like, why are you guys always so mad, so angry, right? And then this guy was just like, um, I remember, like he was like, I'll invite you out to eat, but you got to pay for it. And I was like, sure. Um, and then I kind of found out that he would tell everyone that he never liked spending money on anything. And then one time someone said, he's the cheapest guy in the world, and the guy is loaded. And I was like, how can you be so cheap if you're so much money? It makes no sense. And then one time we're having this conversation, and he crosses his legs, right? And then I see the sole of his foot, and he's got this big hole in his shoe, and his shoes were easily $1,000. But I guess he would always take them to the shoemaker, right, and or the shoe repair place, and they would put new soles. And so like I saw this big fat hole, and I could see his white sock, and then he would just tell me about options, and he would just obviously tell me about the bid ask and how fun it was and how you could just make a killing, but you have to have like the killer instinct. That's what he would say. You have to have the killer instinct, man. And then you can't have feelings. And he would say everything that I'd heard, but like it didn't click, right? I was like, that's too much for me. Like I see the stress. There was this lady in the room who was his boss. I forgot her name. I think it was Nancy. And she was, man, I'd never seen somebody so intense. Like her stare was just so intense. Like you could just tell that she was a woman in a man's world, and she had made her name, right? And she was losing her hair. Like there was a couple of times where I would see her and she had like short hair as it is, and she like this part of her hair was gone. Or like I could just see through. And I was like, how much stress is she under? And it just didn't appeal. And then I remembered when I started talking to Uncle Bruce, and we do one-on-ones. That's when I started making some money, right? And I was like, man, I just made a $4,000 or $5,000 in that trade. Took me a few months, but I did it, and I was like, this is it. I had some one-on-ones with Uncle Bruce, um, and he would explain, everything, and it clicked. It just clicked. And the one time it clicked, and I know I've said this before probably, but for whoever's new listening, the day that it clicked for me was vacation. I think it was 2021. Um, and we were in Hawaii. We went to visit my wife's family. Um, her brother's in the service, right? He's a devil dog, and we would go and visit the Schofield Barracks. If you guys are in the service, or ever been in the service, you know that in Hawaii, in Oahu, there's the Schofield Barracks. That's where the military families are, right? So we would go there, and anyway, but we would stay in Waikiki, and we'd stay at the Hilton uh, Hawaiian Village, and beautiful hotel, huge hotel, beachfront property. And what was appealing was the fact that there's a restaurant right next to the ocean. Right, there's a beach. Um, and I remember we woke up like at 10 in the morning over there, right, like at 9:30 or something like that. And the kids wanted to go to the beach, so we're like, okay, let's take them. Um, and then we went in, and I ordered a Mai Tai, and I was like, Jesus, it's so early, but like I really want to have a drink. Because I'm on vacation, right? And I'm having fun. My wife's playing with the kids. Like I can see them splash each other with the water, and they're playing in the sand. And I'm just watching my wife smile and my kids smile, and I'm like, I'm having such a great time. I'm drinking a Mai Tai, and I look at my phone, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, uh C3.ai was ripping, and I was like, oh, I need to sell some covered calls. And Uncle Bruce just happened to have been on. I was watching the Uncle Bruce show, and I sold some covered calls, and I brought in, I think, like $4,000 or $5,000. And it clicked. It just, everything just clicked right then and there. Everything up to that point was like, I got it, but it hadn't clicked. Like I could understand it, but it had not clicked. And at that point in time, it's like the Sixth Sense moment, right? You guys see the Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis when the little kid says, I see dead people. And he realizes that he's the dead guy, that the kid was seeing him because he was dead. You don't know that you're dead. They don't know they're dead, but like I see dead people. Like when that hit me, and I had my Sixth Sense moment, and I was like, shit, all these images just rushed through my head, and I just realized I just made $4,000 or $5,000, and I'm sitting here drinking a Mai Tai. My kids are playing on the beach. Like I'm here. This took all of 5 minutes, if that. And I just made like however much money I'm gonna spend during this trip. I just made it right now. And I mean, yes, I stayed on points. I did pay for the flight that time, but you also have like to rent you car rentals, and we go to restaurants and all that stuff with a family of six. And then to add my brother-in-law's family, that's a lot of money, right? And especially if you go to luau's and stuff like that. But I was like, holy shit, this trip, I just paid for this trip with this. It's just crazy because just C3.ai, right? And I did some. I think I sold some SoFis. I may have sold some Unities. I think I may have sold. I think a Tesla covered call. But anyways, so it just clicked. I just made all this money, and I was like, I'm sitting at the beach. I'm drinking at Mai Tai. My kids are playing. Like it's just the mind blowing happening right then and there, right? Like just that moment in time that just it everything just clicked, and then that was it, man. Um, so so yeah, like I don't know if I've lost money. I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. I mean, have I made some bad calls with? Yeah, but I mean, I'm outperforming the market by 50-60% every year. So I think we're doing okay, guys. I think if we stick to like this principle where we buy a stock low, that's the key, right? And what better way to buy a stock low than to go through a cash secure put when it's red, and then we sell cover calls when it's high. So essentially, we're selling high, and that's how you make money in the stock market, right? And so it's just like it's the idea is so simple, but it's hard to put into practice when you don't know until it clicks, right? So, anyways, I'm it's however I've ended up here. um I'm here now, and you guys are watching me, and hopefully I can share some of my experiences, and obviously I share my portfolio, my moves with you guys, and you guys can see kind of how I move, and if you guys decide to take a plunge, awesome. You guys will make money together. The goal is to make 100 millionaires in this channel, right? With this channel, and hopefully you guys are there in a couple of years. The first $100,000 are the hardest. I'll tell you the guys right now. The first $100,000 are the hardest. So you know how Uncle Bruce says, leave your day job, just trade. It's not that simple. He's retired. He's made a lot of money. Easier said than done. If you're young, work as much as you can. Roaring. If you're young, you work as much as you can. If you're in your 20s, your 30s, bust your ass as much as you can to dump as much money as possible into the market and go through cash secure puts. You know, do cash secure puts, then cover calls, and then just keep. Every time you sell a cover call, use that to do more cash secure puts or buy stock. At market price, and repeat, rinse and repeat, and grow your portfolio. Grow it, because days like today, when everything is going up, is when you see the difference, right? And I'll tell you that right now. Don't get discouraged. Sometimes you're gonna see your portfolio red. Sometimes you'll be like, if you started with 10,000, and it's been like months and you're still like 13,000, it's okay. You're in no rush. Just keep doing what you're doing because it compounds, man. It compounds. It's the eighth wonder of the world, compounding. So just keep dumping as much money as you can. Go into stocks that you believe in. Have conviction. Don't let anything shake you. Right? You're gonna have red days. You're gonna have green days, but stick to your strategy. Stick to the principle of buying when it's low through cash secure puts. Place those shares. On green days, you sell covered calls, rinse and repeat. And then those premiums you bring, either buy more stock or pay down some credit cards if you can, and it's enough money to where you can pay your rent with it. Do so. You know, and don't buy stock with your hard-earned money from work like right off the bat. I hate doing that, because it's money that has already been taxed. What I like doing is I like going through a cash secure put, because that way I can bring in 10-15%. So the money I've been taxed on that, at least like the way I see it, is like it's a premium that I get back, right? Some tax money that I get back. And that's kind of how I begin, you know. Anyways, let's see here. Karen D saying, I get it, Savage. My adult kids barely even talk to me. Oh, that's sad, man. Yeah, I can see how. Yeah. It's I can see that, man. It's and you work so hard, right? You work so hard and like they're everything, and I don't think they understand just how much you sacrifice for them and how much you do. But yeah, it's life. I know sometimes I don't call my mother often enough. I just text her sometimes. CKT saying 52-week high on SoFi 2811. Some $30 cash covered calls expiring November would not be terrible right now on SoFi, guys. SoFi right now is 52-week high, right? Cool. A lot of FOMO going on. Great. $30 covered calls right now could bring you 250. 250. Put a stinker of 245, 250 in there. What's wrong with that? Get paid $32 basically, $32.50. Stock is still $2 away. What if you sell it at if you can take it on at 30? What is wrong with that? You're making money, right? Nothing is telling you that SoFi is going to go to 30 for sure, right? This is why we do cash secure puts. I wrote some $30 cash secure puts on SoFi. I believe it was like a 25 something, and I did $30 cash secure puts. I brought in like $10. They're out to like 2027, and so it's basically like almost 35%. And then 5% that I get from Schwab is going to be like 40%, and then this is just for a little over a year. Okay, so it's just I'm making money on SoFi either way, whether it goes down or it goes up. And don't be scared to write some $30, $35 cover calls. Write some 35s to January. Bring in some bucks, some money, a couple of bucks for your troubles. Make it real. Go out, this weekend and have a good meal with your significant other. Pay rent, pay down some credit card debt. Make it real right now. What's wrong with that? Chances are you've had SoFi over a fucking year. And remember that you can always roll. That's the thing. You can always roll when you're in January. If SoFi is $36 or 35 something, you sold 35 cover calls. Like you're in the money there. But you know what? You can roll to March 37s and bring in more premium. So you're basically saying, I change my mind. I don't want to sell at 35. I'm selling at 37. So you're adding $200 on the chain, right? On the option chain, and you're bringing in premium. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Nothing whatsoever. Kilua saying, now you know why Uncle Bruce was bald at 30. All right, dude. I got it. I got you, brother. I'll read it later. Kilua Dre saying, chump, chump, chump. Roaring Yiddies, Hi Savage and all his youth K's in the house. Roaring is saying one of the reasons I'm doing cash secure puts and cover calls is because I can work and I can always be watching the charts. So I'm at least making more money even if I miss some of the moves. I do the same thing. I work sometimes 15, 16 hours in a day. And sometimes I'll work 30, 40 days straight. It's just the nature of my business. It's the nature of how I work. And I'm totally okay with that. And so, that's exactly why I do big chunks too. Again, because sometimes you just can't, although I look at my portfolio, sometimes I just can't trade. And that's why you take big chunks. So you safeguard from, whatever life happening, right? And let's say you chose like a short strike of like, a week. And then next week you get sick, something happens. And then you're like, oh shit, I forgot. Life happens. So safeguards against that as well. Brings in even more premiums, gives you more time so that you can adjust and I like to have plan A, B, C, and D when it comes to like options. I like to see different venues I can take. It just helps to have more time, because it makes me like more nimble in a way, right? So I understand completely, Roaring Yiddy, for sure. Do the same. My SoFi cash secure puts are looking real nice. I'm just rolling them and taking the cash. No problems at all. It's not personal, my friend. I get it, dude. I'm with you. I'll go to December 30th and ask for $2.99. I'm with you, Mr. Premium of the option. That's exactly what I'm looking at. Kilua is saying, what about 30 calls for October 17th You get 118. Why do that when you could bring in 299? It's almost 3 times that. I'm all about bringing in more premium, Kalua. CKT saying put a bid on SoFi covered calls for January 2026, 35s. See if it fills at 197 times 10. The guy's bringing it's just a money machine. CKT is just a money machine. He's just a fucking ATM at this point. Jesus Christ. Look at this guy. Another $2,000. Thank you very much. This guy is single-handedly keeping our economy going. That's like what? It was like $5,000-$6,000 you made today, bro. If this goes through, god damn, good job, bro. Yes, sir. That's it. High five. High five. High five. I good friends. Yeah, buddy. That's how you do it, man. CKT showing us how it's done, man, and I like that. SoFi Technologies is ripping. Another one of the Savage 20. AI, look at that. AI's it's kind of finding its footing. It's consolidating, guys. AI, C3.ai is consolidating. 16, 17s filled. 18s is going to consolidate. Then it's going to take a few weeks, go to 19, 20 is going to consolidate. It's all good. I told you guys, don't be afraid to go in with some 1750s cash secure puts on C3.ai, some 17s out to January, some 18s even. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. Great company. C3.ai is shares rise 5% on bullish options surge and CEO equity grants amid mixed analyst views. They're up 5.6% today. A lot more calls than puts. I mean, that's bullish, guys. And I happen to say 25 of those calls are mine. I actually bought some $20, $25 calls expiring January 2027. I'm totally okay with that, which is why I decided to ride against AI and sold those 20s out to December. It's all good. It is all good. And guess what? If it goes to 2021 in the next month, I'm going to write some 2250s for December and bring in more money. So I get taken out at 20 and 2250. Big deal. All right. Never fear the upside, right? So people were begging for some 1750 calls that had some type of juice when AI went to $14 a share. Look at that. It's at 18. I told you guys it had no business at 14, no business at 15. Here we are. It's recovered, and it's going to keep recovering. It's going to find its equal footing in 1920, and then it's going to go on a run. And it's going to go back to 25, 26, and then it's going to go to 30. That's what AI does, guys. And I've been here before with C3.ai. Unity was here like a year ago, and I was pounding the table. It's 13, 14 bucks a share, guys. Just get in there somehow, some way. If you can't afford a couple of shares, buy the shares. If not, do cash secure puts. But get paid. Anything under 20 is a gift. I was saying that. It's here. It's on video. I'm not bullshitting. Like, it's on video. RXRX, RXRX is at an inflection point. RXRX is just consolidating and loading at this point. But it's a heavily shorted stock. There's a very low float available, and there's not that many shares in existence, just like C3.ai. And when it decides to rip, and the powers that be decide that it's enough, it's done enough penance, and they're gonna let it go, they will let it go, and it's going to 10. As of right now, I'm just adding. I'm trying to get to 5,000 shares by the end of the year. We'll see what happens. But RXRX is just a gift at this point. $5 cash secure puts expiring November or December. Not bad at all. Bring in a little money to buy it under 5. Why not? Rivian is waking up, my friends, and I'm glad to see it's waking up, man. I sold some some $17 covered calls expiring November, I believe. And yeah, I'm ready, man. I I'm very curious to see how that's gonna play out too right now because it's so devalued, undervalued. Um, and and I'm excited to see what happens with Rivian. I keep seeing Rivians more and more over here in the Bay Area, and I get the same feel from Rivian that I got when I saw Tesla for the first time. I used to see these Tesla cars, and I was like, "What's a Tesla?" Like, I mean, and then you start finding out and doing your due diligence, and you're like, "Holy shit, those are good cars. These are awesome cars. They're SUVs and trucks, right?" So everybody knows that watches this channel. I'm trying to buy a Rivian with Rivian call and cash secure put money. That's the name of the game, my friends. That's the name of the game. SOXS is at a 52-week low. I'm gonna wait. If it gets to like 510 to 5, I'm gonna go in and buy another 200 shares to average down because it's just a matter of time before semiconductors take a big hit. And I mean, China already said, they're not even going to touch Nvidia, right? So it's just about time that they tell other countries, if you want to do business with us, you're going to stop doing business with the U.S. and they're going to make their chips more attractive. It's going to be a mess. But anyways, I'm adding. It's always a hedge, right? So GME is 26.29. It seems like they want to keep it in the $26 land. I'm not doing anything with it. No covered calls yet. I have $30 cash secure puts expiring in October and expiring in January 2026. So I'm just leaving those alone. Those are money makers. Archer Aviation. It was sitting at around $9, and $9 cash secure puts. Not a bad idea to go to like December or November, but it's recovered a bit. So I say let it do what it does, and it'll probably come back down at some point 4 or 5%, and that's when you can look at some cash secure puts. SMCI's nice and positive today. Roblox is down like 35 cents. That's a nothing burger. Sentinel One, my friends. Sentinel One is still under $20. Sentinel One, those $18 cash secure puts, man, they're not gonna sell themselves. I'll tell you that. Go to December, go to November. TerraWolf is down 2% today. I have some $9 cash secure puts on TerraWolf expiring November, and I have some $12 covered calls expiring November, and those are both green. Time is just eating away, guys. That's how you do it. Riot is nice and green. Let's wait for a day where it probably hits 16, like a nice 5-10% day on the red, and then we go in with some cash secure puts. Open is at 10.22. I think they're gonna try to keep it under 10 or 9 tomorrow. We'll see. BBAI, nice little run of 6-7% today. I told you guys about those $7 cash secure puts expiring in 2027. Those were bringing in at 375, 385 at a point. Though they're down to like 340, 330 right now, but almost 50% return on investment. Not the most terrible thing, guys. Especially if you're doing it on like an ETF from Charles Schwab or Fidelity that brings you 5% for money that you have with them. So you basically, you say my money's on this ETF, and then you use that money to buy cash secure puts. They'll just basically give you the cash secure put, and it's there because it's essentially just cash that's sitting there, right? And they'll give you 5% of that money. That's a win. That's a win-win. So at this point, I actually bought some 550 because I sold some $7 covered calls expiring 2026, and I decided to buy some 550s to safeguard. And the 550s I bought for 190. Those are 305 right now. It's 550 calls expiring January 2027. So we'll see what happens, man. IOVA is down a bit. Prop is down again. Smart Rent, surprisingly, is down a bit today. It was up to like 171 this morning. Now it's down to 160, but it's okay. Listen, if you see Smart Rent, you sold some cash secure puts in some, let's say BBAI, let's say some C3.ai, some SoFi's. Take that premium if you want, and buy Smart Rent. Buy like 100 shares. Why not? What's the worst that you lose 160 bucks, right? But what if it goes to $4 or $5? What if you decide that every time you have an extra 50 bucks, 60 bucks, you buy 30, 40 shares of Smart Rent? Next thing you know, you have 1,000 shares. And what if it runs just like Open did? It's there, my friends. It's a cheapie. Just like QSI, it's a cheapie. QSI is up 29% today, guys. I was telling you about this when it was $1, $1.10 a share. It's 162 now. Where is it going to stop? Nobody knows. I don't have a crystal ball, but I do know what a good deal is. And this was a deal. It's still a deal. So let's see what happens. I have 1,000 shares. I'm very curious to see what happens. Nano Dimension, another cheapie. It's down 5% today. Not a terrible time to buy maybe 100 shares if you have 140 bucks. It's going to fly when it flies. NDM is the ticker. Put it on your watch list. See how it moves. See if it's something that you would like to chew on at some point. You make an extra 40, 50 bucks that you have 60 bucks. You buy 50 shares of it. What's the worst that can happen, right? ORGN is up 3% today. That's another cheapie. ORGN is 53 cents a share today. It's going to fly one day. It's going to fly. When? Nobody knows. But to start a position on a 53-cent stock, not too terrible. You want to buy 100 shares? You got 53 bucks, 54 bucks in your account, and you're like, you know what? Little lottery ticket. What can happen? You lose the 53 bucks. I'm sure you lost 53 bucks before doing stupid shit. This one could actually return money to you. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Yeah, buddy. Let's see here. Webull. Now, Webull, I'm very surprised about. But I think they're shorting it. I think Webull is getting shorted, and I am okay with that. 1250 cash secure puts out to October, November, December, January. Not a bad way to get into the stock, my friends. Right now, $15 cash secure puts for January 2026 are bringing $4.05. Essentially, you're buying it for 11. It's $12.67. I don't see anything wrong with that, man. I don't see anything wrong with those $15 cash secure puts. Do you want to make even more money? Why the hell not? $15 cash secure puts, January 2027. Ask for $615. $615. Why not? Why not? You're bringing in easily 35%, 35-40%. Not a terrible deal, if you ask me. I mean, this is a stock that's going to be $30, $40 a share. When? I don't know. If I knew, I'd be sitting somewhere with Jerome Powell, smoking a Cuban cigar, drinking Brugal. All right, I don't know if you guys know your spirits, but I'm a big rum guy, dark rum, and Brugal is probably my favorite rum. It's a Dominican rum, and it comes in a wonderful, nice little bottle, and I like the little seal, like the little yellow net they put it on, but Brugal is so smooth. You put it in the freezer overnight, and then you take, your little swigs the next day on the rocks, and then you put like a little bit, you half a lime, and you squeeze like 10 drops of the lime in there, and then you mix it on the rocks, or neat, and then the sugars and the acidity of the lime actually bring out like the flavor of the sugar cane in Brugal, the rum, and they open up like the flavors, and it's so delicious. I know I sound like an alky. I promise you I'm not, but it's just, if you enjoy spirits and you actually like to sit down and sit back and once in a while take advantage of a nice cognac, right? I'd say you should try Brugal, because it's really it's good, man. It's good. So Weeble, $15 cash secure puts out to 2027, bringing in 613 right now. You could do 1750s and bring in $800 right this second. That's almost 50%, my friends. Almost 50%. I see nothing wrong with that trade whatsoever. Nothing. But again, I take advantage of what the market gives me. I'm not trying to do too much. I'm not trying to get greedy. I'm just saying, look, this stock should not be here. This stock should be easier, closer to $20 a share. It was $80 a share or close to it when it IPO'd. It got hit down, right? Look at what happened with Robinhood. Robinhood was $8-10 forever, right? And then look at where it's at now. It's gonna be the same thing. You gotta understand that all these yahoos out there, they have to push the stock down because all those calls in the 80, 90, $100, 70, 60, 50, 40, all those gotta die worthless. Somebody has to hold it there. They gotta die worthless, my friends. So give it some time. Let it chill. Load up on the stock. Load up on it. That's what I did, with Palantir. That's what I did with Unity, Roblox, SoFi. That's what you do. Open. I'm doing that now with like Webull and with C3.ai. I had already a lot of C3.ai, but I always wanted more. And I was so angry because it ran from 10 to 20 so fast to 20, 30. And it just didn't give me time to adjust and get more. Because I was getting so much SoFi, right? I was getting so much like Palantir, and I was just like, I wish I had way more money, but you can only do what you can do, right? And you still have to pay bills. I actually took out loans. I took out loans to buy SoFi when it was like at $5-6 land. I took out loans when Unity went down to like $10. I took out loans when Palantir was like at $8-10. Because I just knew these companies didn't belong there. And I was like, you gotta have to take a chance. And then I took out like $40,000 of different credit cards. I leveraged my credit limit against my so basically I took out a loan against my credit cards, basically, right? It's a what do they call it? It's like a cash advance. And you basically, what you do is, they send you mailers and they say, have you thought about doing a cash balance transfer, right? And I don't know what your credit is like, but I had a credit card, a couple of credit cards that have over $30,000, $40,000 limits. So I was just like, let me take $20,000 out. And then they basically said, for 3% fee, you get up to $20,000. So what is that? That's $300 for every $1,000. So I was like, oh, and $20,000, I pay $600. Not a bad deal. Essentially, it's like a loan. Sure, and it was a 0% APR for like 18 months, and I was like, if done correctly, I can make a lot more money than that. And then so I did that with a couple of credit cards, right? And then I went in and I did cash secure puts. I brought in premium and then more cash secure, brought in premium, and I used, that premium to pay down the balance on those loans. And within a year, I was done. And then I had all this stock, and it just went up. You can do that, you know. That's kind of what I did. And then right now, look. Um, Borrowing rates are coming down, right? That's going to be a great time to banks are going to basically be giving money away. That's basically it. That's what it is. They'll say, hey, you want a balance transfer? You have $10,000. Give us 3%, 2%, because it's still way more than the 0% they're paying. So to them, it's free money anyways, right? And worst case, and then the thing is that those balance transfers, if you take advantage of the 0% APR for the 16, 18 months, great. If you don't take advantage of that and you end up, going into 7 to 17 month, 18 month, and you haven't paid it off, then that's like a 24% APR. So you get your ass handed to you. So make sure you pay down those loans. That's how they get you. But if you do cash secure puts on like Nvda, Tesla, right? And then you just you basically are using the premiums. You go monthlies. On those you do monthlies. You take the premiums, pay the balance, or just pay down minimums, just the minimums, and then just add to your position. Keep adding, and then and grow your portfolio. And then instead of doing 5 cash secure puts, you'll do 6, then 7. Next thing you know, you're doing 10 cash secure puts. Then that's real money. Then you start putting that money towards the loan, right? The principal, and that's how it starts going down quickly. And you could be done within a year. I know people on the Discord have done it before, and it's definitely possible. It's a moneymaker if done right. It's an extreme moneymaker. UiPath, $12. I was telling you guys, do the $11 cash you can put on UiPath. MVTS. Figma is up bigly today. Nice. That $50 cash secure put is gonna be worthless in November. SMR. I was telling you guys about New Scale Power yesterday, I think, and in a couple of days before, it was at $35 at a point, and now it's $40. QBTS. I told you about QBTS when it was $14, $15, guys. It's now $24.32. It's up 8% today. It was up like 12%, 15% yesterday. Look, there's money to be made. You just got to know where to go. And you can't be scared, my friends. You can't be scared. So CKT, it's been a good day. High five. Insert Borat gif. Right on. Jude K saying BBAI $7 puts 127 or 7 puts 127 looking good. Yes, they are. CKT saying just filled, so he just made another $2,000, another 2K. God damn it, CKT! The K in CKT stands for 2K or 3 or 4K. Insert number of Ks. Dude is saying so January 27, $15 cash secure puts on AI last week and took in 350 already. Shrinking about 10%. That's how you do it, baby. That's how you do it, man. It's just so easy, so simple. Even a caveman could do it. Jude K did AI $25 cash secure puts for $10, 127. Not a terrible deal, my friend. You got 40% back. Kudos. I would have done that on a red day, but 40%, not terrible at all. Those would have moved maybe to like, I don't know, like 1050. It's fine. Cash secure puts you want to do on a red day, but you know what? I don't see anything wrong with that. Don't do it often. CKT saying RGT up, Riggedy is up 16.5%. Gonna have to buy more when it goes down again. Me too, man. I didn't think it was gonna go up so fast. It did. I kind of had an idea, but you know, that's the one thing with these stocks. You're like, I'm very positive about it, and then it goes, and it goes up a little bit. You're like, good, and it keeps going up. You're like, holy shit, I had it right. And sometimes it surprises you even, man. So yeah, Riggedy. I think I have $14 and $15 cash secure puts. It's all good. I love seeing the Savage 20 just rip. CKT picked up 1,000 shares of several small cap stocks today. I've been eyeing today with the money from covered calls. Going to be sitting on those for a few years. That's how you do it, man. You just expand your portfolio, CKT. There's a savage way, man. The savage way, and you're doing it correctly. Yeah. CKT is just showing everybody how it's done, and I love it, man. Good job, dude. One company's Huma. Check them out. I like their tech with one patent already. Haven't done deep dive on financial analysis yet. Um, but this is just a superficial investment stock at 175. All right, let's check out UHUMA, dude. Let's see. Humasite. Oh shit, it's up 22% today. All right. Engages in the business of developing and manufacturing off-the-shelf universally implantable bioengineering human tissues, advanced tissues constructs, and organ systems with the goal of improving the lives of patients and transforming the practice of medicine. The company was founded by Laura and Nicholas, blah, 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 in 2004 out of North Carolina. 52-week low was 115. 62. You know what? Very close to the 52-week low. Yeah. Yeah, that's not terrible. That's kind of when you want to go in on a company that you've had your eye on, and you have you have conviction in. You've been looking at it for a while, and dude, this how you do it. Close to the 52-week low. Yeah. 250 covered calls are giving you $30 right now, 30 cents per call. The stock is at like 180 something. So you're selling at $50 more. I mean, why not? Dude, it's all good. It's all good, brother. Roaring is saying, "Oh yeah, I remember that stock is gonna be great for emergency surgeries." I think. Yeah, it seems like they're working on. Um, if I read it correctly, it's probably human tissue that they're growing in labs. So that's the way that it smells to me. I don't see anything wrong with that. ASTS is up just a little bit today. It was down to like 38, 37. I was telling you guys $35 cash secure puts ASTS out to 2026 March. Not terrible right now. Those be you'd be 20, 30% in the green right now. Nvidia 176. It just refuses to go down. Somebody's keeping it up for a reason. They have no China, nothing. Everything's done. As far as China, it's done. It's gone. Those $450 billion they were planning on, gone. Where are they gonna get it from? Right? All those chips that they had manufactured, that they took the research and development, all those man hours and manpower to make them, all that money lost, gone, done. What are you gonna do with that? Nano Dimensions is down. AEHR is up 11% today. I mean, the stock market is ripping, guys. IonQ, another one of my babies. I was telling you guys about IonQ in the 13s and 15s. It is $69 right now. $69. Thank you very much. DNA, Ginkgo Bioworks is up. I was telling you guys, I think last week or early this week about DNA. DNA is a good company. It's probably gonna 100x or 10x. We'll see, but it's a good company to get into. It's kind of in between the 52-week high and the 52-week low. I think it was like $10 when I told you guys about it, and I was telling you do some $10 cash secure puts. It'll be all right. So out to like November, October, bring in some money. Those will make you money right now. Ethereum is 4,600. Bullish. It's $60. My $55 bullish cash secure puts Uh, they don't look that terrible now. Let's see here. Red Cat, like I said, some $9 cash, some $10 cash you can put some Red Cat. Go out to like January, bring in some real money. BMNR is coming down. BMNR, huh? Let's see here. SQQQ is down. FFAA is down. NVTS is up. QUBT, another one. This is gonna be like QBTS. It's gonna rip to 20, and when it rips to 20, it's gonna go to 25. So at this point, it's at 18. Have a look, see, guys. Like I told you, this was 63 cents. I started following when it was like I don't know, like a dollar, a couple of dollars, but guys, I told you, it's the QSI, same thing. It's there right now. It's like at $1 and change right now. Just give it time. We don't know when it's going to happen. Serve is up a little bit. SoundHound up 5.65%. And now is when you do some covered calls, my friends. 15. Boom. Boom. Some $2 strikes. Why not? $19 call, November 21st, $2. Get filled, baby. Get filled. BTBT's up. Domo's up. GLXY is coming down. All right. If Galaxy comes down to 25, that's a good cash secure put to right. Relate Therapeutics is up. RLAY. It's up 13% today. That's good to see. Clean Spark. CLSK is up 16% today. I was telling you about Clean Spark when it was $8, $9, $7, guys. AOI is 29.01. Gonna keep it. I got some puts on it. Tesla is down to 423. Amazon's up. Nebius is up. QBTS is up. Snowflake is up. Hoodie is up. Lyft. I told you guys about Lyft when it was $15 a share. It's 22.24. It's a little red today, like 2%, 2.65%. If it gets down to 20, under $20, Lyft, do some $20 cash secure puts, my friends. I wouldn't be scared to go in on the 20s out a few months and bring in $2-3. Don't be scared. It's a good company. Don't go into Uber if you don't have to, because why would you go into Uber when you could, for 1/10 of the price, go into Lyft? They do the same thing. Mara is up. Oh, nice. My Mara cash secure puts are done. I sold some 16s and some 18s, and those are beautiful right now. Anyways, guys, it looks like it's a good day. Rocket Companies is barely up today. I sold some cash secure puts on Rocket yesterday, some $20 cash secure puts out to December, bringing some nice cash. Dude, guys, we're doing great. Let's see here. Roaring is saying that I remember this stock is going to be great for emergency surgeries. I agree. Things like burn patients instead of pig or fish skin. Yep. Dialysis, emergency med, heart vascular procedures. Yep. Mr. Lucky Go Round just sold 16 open cash secure puts for 355. You sold $16 strikes. I hope not. I hope you didn't, Mr. Lucky. 16 open cash secure puts for 355. You sold 16, like 16 cash secure puts, or you sold $16 open cash secure puts out to when? I don't know, dude. That's playing with fire. Playing with fire. I wouldn't do. I mean, you're a gambler. You're a gambler. It's it's not down 5% right now. I would have waited for tomorrow. Tomorrow is probably going to go down to like $9. You know, some cash secure puts would have been good tomorrow. Although we don't know what's going to do, bro. We don't know. It could be they took their foot off the pedal and tomorrow's going to run. We don't know, but you want to wait for that 5%, to 10% red day and then going to cash secure puts. I would not write $16 open cash secure puts. That's just, I don't think that's the right move. CKT, I work in the medical field and my wife is an RN in electrophysiology, being running it by her too. That's pretty cool. Roy Yiddy said, I forgot about that one. CKT, I like it. What do you think of Tempus CKT? Dude is saying Nvda just did some kind of deal with Intel, a purchase of stock. They bought $5 billion of stock in Intel. Yeah, they're writing Intel's. They're trying to appeal to Donald Trump. That's what it is, dude. It's just they know that the government is in on Intel right now. So by them buying $5 billion of stock in Intel, they're essentially saying, here's $5 billion, Donald Trump. It's a pay to play, man. It's totally gross. And not what should happen, but it is what it is, my friends. And I think what they're trying to do is this. They are trying to kind of grease the wheel and have Trump talk with China about maybe buying the chips, right? Some type of leverage. Look for that next. So they're just not letting Nvidia go down, right? CKT saying, have I looked into Tempest? Let me take a look real quick. Roaring saying, wow, no wonder Kuma is up today. News says that they have a price target of 25 by D Borough Capital. Sorry, 16 $10 cash secure puts. SoFi is up. And on the right, out to January 2026. Kind of long, bro. SoFi is up. Ahoy, Lucky 23 bought back four open cash secure puts for 60% win. That's how you do it, my friend. Go SoFi, go. Agreed, I think it's bearish as well, longer scope. Ray Sherlock saying, waiting to roll my January 27, SoFi 25 cash secure puts. Give me that money. Give me that money, my friend. Guys, look, if there's a specific stock you're looking at, man, don't let nobody tell you how to invest. You know where you're putting your money in, man. So let's see, Mr. Lucky, run a little bit backstory on my open position. I made 100% of my position, sold all my stock, and sold all the 10 to strike cash secure puts on January 2026. It's all good. It's all good. As long as you make money, that's what matters. Usually, you want to wait for like a day like yesterday, right? When it went down to like $9, 8 something, that would have been a great, right. I would have gone with 9s at the 2026. And then today you would have bought them back, because that's how it's moving. Tomorrow it's probably going to go down. Tomorrow you can look at maybe averaging down. I don't know. You know what you're doing, dude. As long as you're making money, that's all that matters. Anyways, my friends, it's been 2 hours. I got to go make some bread. Literally, I got to make bread. I got to make pizza bread. Well, really like the dough because I want to make pizza for the kids. But my friends, it's been grand. Thank you for watching, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. It is I, the Savage of Wall Street. We're making money today. I'm happy you guys are making money. Thank you for watching. I see that the numbers of people watching go, higher and higher, and I think that's cool. I think I saw 40 something at some point today. That's cool. We started with like 15, right? And I think the algo's picking me up a bit, and that's awesome. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the comments. Feel free to share. Feel free to watch my shows on the rerun later and have them in the background. You don't have to watch them. You just hear me, and then we'll see what the market brings us tomorrow, right? Look for a lot of look for choppiness tomorrow. A lot of stocks are getting shorted. You know, rate cuts happen, so stock market is going to look for an excuse to keep going up. Totally okay, but proceed with caution, right? Let's keep waiting for companies to, like, this time, instead of 5%, we could do 10% runs, 10% on the green. When the companies run, you could sell some covered calls out a couple of months, bring in some money, right? And always stay ahead of the stock. Cash secure puts, same thing, at 10% or more. You go in with cash secure puts, bring in some nice premium, and look to get a sign. And that's what we're going to work it, man. We're going to keep looking at the Savage 20. It looks like right now everything is looking good. So whether we do cash secure puts or cover calls, seems like you guys, we can't do wrong. There's a few laggards, of course, right? You're never going to bat 1,000. So don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to fail, because you got to keep it moving, right? As long as you mitigate risks and as long as you stay in the game, don't try to time the market. Timing the market will always be trying to time the market. So just stick with it. Let's keep doing what we're doing. Let's stay positive. Keep bringing in money. Like CKT today had a ridiculous amount of money that he generated today. He made over $5,000 today, and that's how you do it, guys. That's any of you at any point when you guys are in a position where your portfolios let you just bring in that dough. I made a few $1,000s today, in like an hour, and I'm happy. I mean, that's kind of how you do things, right? And then we're gonna look for some more opportunity tomorrow. Today we're gonna keep looking at the market, see what's moving, how much it's moving, and we'll take positions, right? And if not, don't be afraid to fold your arms and just let things happen and see what tomorrow brings, because tomorrow is gonna be, option expiry day. The markets move very quickly on option expiry day. They can start off very red and then go green, or very green and then just boom for red. Don't get caught flat-footed, right? Let's see it open. Let's see what QSI is doing. Let's see everything that's moved 10, 20% today. See tomorrow. See how it keeps going. If it keeps going tomorrow, then let's see what happens. And if those do not keep going and they take a big hit, and they get hit by 10% or something tomorrow, then we look at cash secure puts. We're always staying ahead of the market, right? Anyways, I'm the Savage of Wall Street, knuckleheads. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30. Chevra is saying, go Niners. Dude is saying, thank you, Savage. Hit the thumbs up for sure. Toodles, y'all. Oh, and don't forget to tell people to hit the like button so that it brings in more people. Thank you, Roaring. I appreciate it. James of the Trees saying, bullish and bearish, you make money no matter what. That's right. It's right here. Today we're bullish. Yesterday we were bearish. But you guys know it worked out. That's all it is. Roaring Judy saying, I always watch the shows I can be here for. It is all good and appreciated, Roaring. See you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Be there or be squared. Until then, see you, knuckleheads. Peace.